Good morning, my loves, and happy Sunday. Welcome to another weekly vlog. In this video, I really want to focus on staying grounded in the present moment. If you are new here, every single week I post a weekly vlog where we're reading some books, participating in some hobbies, and then I have a general theme or word that is the word of the week. This week is all about romanticizing life, because while it is a beautiful thing for me to have goals that I am working towards and have ambitions that I can take action steps towards, it's still important for me to be grateful for where I'm at, appreciate what I have currently without losing sight of where it is that I want to be. So much of this 90-day glow up journey for me is about being my dream girl and living the life I know I am capable of living. But while I'm doing that, I would like to remind myself that life happens in the present moment. Staying grounded and focused in where I'm currently at does not take away from where it is that I want to go. So come join me on this week where I am attempting to romanticize my life and stay present in the moment via the things that I love to do. So I hope that you enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and let's jump on in. Sure if you can tell just how sweaty I am, but for the past few weeks I've just been like playing around with my workout. Apologies, there's an echo. I'm in a yoga studio, and I finally decided like on the workouts that I love doing and created my own like workout routine for every day. This is my first day doing glutes. Brutal. And when I say my first day doing glutes, I mean my first day doing this new glute routine. I've been doing my workout split for the past 4 weeks. It's just now I have like set exercises I want to do every single time. Look at me. Oh my loves, we're officially starting this vlog in the car, and I'm gonna hurry up before I sweat to death in here. But I am at Bath and Body Works, and because the theme of this week is all about presence and choosing to romanticize the present moment, I just want to say the drive over here was lovely. It is such a beautiful day. You can see how bright it is behind me. It is like bright blue skies, super warm and hot, and I'm choosing to enjoy that. And I was listening to music, and it was no traffic. So Bath and Body Works is having a sale. I need to do my eyebrows really bad, but I haven't found an eyebrow place yet. So we're gonna go into Bath and Body Works, get some hand soap, which is $3 each, which is a great deal. So I'm gonna stock up on that just so that I don't have to buy that later on, and it's nicer quality hand soap than I normally get. Put you on a tripod? Sure. Am I going to? No. Good morning, besties. It is Sunday. I got home very late last night at about 10 o'clock, but when I tell you that was like the most fun I had, it was my first time going to like a bookish fair, which was so much fun. All the authors are incredibly kind. We got lots of freebies. And of course, I love chatting with my friend. We spoke for like 2 hours straight. Like we just got along really well. And I finished my morning workout. And I just want to say, I woke up at 6 a.m. and still stayed on routine. And that is just... Karma's like, bitch, stop bragging. I'm not bragging. I'm proud of myself for being able to say, last night, my night routine was going to be interrupted. I still want to prioritize friendship. So accepting that, allowing myself to sleep in a little bit later today by waking up at 6 instead of at 5, and realizing I could still stay on routine because it is 8 a.m. now and I'm sitting down to eat my breakfast, which is around what I would be doing at this time. So I am having a very protein-packed breakfast, and something that I'm romanticizing this morning is just sitting here with the beautiful like blue sky out my window, enjoying my little continental breakfast. On Sundays, I always go all out with breakfast. So last week was breakfast tacos. This week is a continental breakfast. This is eggs, a sausage, baked beans, protein bread with Kerrygold butter, and then also yogurt with strawberries. So I'm gonna eat my breakfast. I'm gonna stop cutting myself off, and I'm gonna enjoy that. And something that I'm gonna do later on is meal prep. So I'll see you when it's time to meal prep. Good morning, my loves. Welcome to my office. I know I said I don't show you work, and I don't. You're not going to see more than this whiteboard behind me, but it is about 8 a.m. As I mentioned, I start work at 7. I have been sitting here just doing some general admin stuff, but also thinking about my goals. But before we jump in and talk about all of that, I want to give you the update on how you get the girl. I know that last week I mentioned that I was feeling like the characters were a little bit flat and like they didn't feel distinct enough. And as we get more into the story, I'm so happy to tell you, like, they start to feel like more distinct people, and their stories really come into play in terms of how they interact with each other and other characters in the book. And I'm really enjoying that aspect. Overall, I would say this has such a warm, cozy kind of feeling. There definitely is heaviness and sadness here. And if you're someone who also feels like you may be on the aromantic or asexual spectrum, and you have thought to yourself or felt like you were behind in life because of your journey in figuring that out, I think that you may feel a lot of connection to this story. I know that I personally have, which reminds me of why I was feeling triggered about the interactions between Elle and Julie. Elle is obviously much more experienced, and Julie is not, because she is struggling with her identity and understanding why she doesn't seem to feel attraction the way that other people around her do. And the thing is that because we get to be in Elle's point of view and in her mind, we know that when she wants to kiss Julie and when she wants to interact in these physical behaviors with Julie, she frames it as like, let me help Julie get this kind of training. Let me help her be exposed to these things, when really it's that she wanted to do these things, and she would say, we should kiss, so that you could practice. And that felt manipulative to me. And I mentioned in my last weekly vlog that I don't like that, because as someone who feels the way Julie does, I don't have the same experiences as Julie. Julie and I took very different life paths, even as I continue to try to understand whether or not I am on the aromantic spectrum. I always got the ick when people would do that. And I think a lot of that, in full transparency, is coming from the sexual trauma that I experienced in my past and feeling manipulated in that sense. And I really want to acknowledge and be transparent in saying that I don't think a lot of people would be bothered by this. And when I say I'm bothered by it, I don't mean that it's like ruining the story for me. It's just that it's giving me an ick, and I want to be clear about why it's giving me an ick. However, besties, now I mentioned I was doing some admin stuff. I've wrapped up some of the things I want to do this morning. I'm going to start working on another task, but I have been sitting here just kind of journaling, as I tend to do. I don't bring my journal with me, honestly, because I forgot it. So I just like write down, and my little glow up journey, I feel like, is going really well. And the thing is that my glow up really has nothing to do with my physical appearance. My glow up is all about choosing to move towards the life I know I'm capable of. And as you all know, I am reading the 12-week year. And something that this author said that just really landed with me is the idea that we have two lives, the lives that we live and the lives that we're capable of living. And this whole glow up journey for me, and why I'm choosing to focus on my internal state and my internal world, has a lot to do with moving towards the life I feel like I'm capable of living. And I don't control outcomes. I know we like to believe that we can control outcomes, and it's a really hard pill to swallow, but I've learned I do not control the outcomes. I can only control my actions. And so far, for the past, it's been about 6 weeks now, besties, so they did start before I officially started this series. I'm halfway through my little journey, and I'm proud of myself for showing up for myself and committing to the journey and committing to the action steps that I've been taking. A big focus has been like mindset and physical wellness, and just like prioritizing my protein intake and my exercise routines, and just choosing to be in the present moment, and that's going really well. But what I was journaling on is like my financial glow up, because I would like to start integrating that. My budget is pretty tight, and it's important to me that I am sticking to a budget, so I'm definitely working on that and just setting some financial goals and being clear with myself about what my financial goals are and why I'm prioritizing this. I really want to move towards a no spend month and just try that out. But one step at a time, we're going to do a no spend week. And I'm saying that to you so that I can commit. And you know what a no spend week is when you are not buying anything that's not a necessity. So things like gas and food, for me, that's not considered like no spend, because those are things that I have to get. I cannot drive my car if my car does not have gas, and I need to have food in my fridge in order for me to eat. And that's something that's important to me, right? That's a necessity. But I don't have to go out with friends and do something that costs money. And actually, so often when I'm hanging out with friends, we're doing things that are free. I mean, yes, gas money to get there, but the things that we're doing don't actually cost money most often. So I am really grateful for the existence of those free things. And the final thing that I want to say in this little clip, well, there's lots of things that I want to say. I feel like I'm yapping in these vlogs, and I don't know why, but it's like making me feel insecure that I talk so much, but they're vlogs, so obviously I'm going to talk. And the second thing that I really want to talk about is the idea of brainwashing yourself for success. I know. I feel like it's so easy for people to take that the wrong way, but I know what I mean. Our brains are hardwired for survival, which means we tend to lean towards the negative. How often did I spend so much of my time thinking about things that had happened, thinking about things that will never happen, and just generally focusing on all the things that I had to do? And in the theme of being present and romanticizing life, I really want to disrupt that pattern. A big reason why I've gotten back into reading personal development books, which I've read a ton a couple of years ago. As I mentioned, when I read these books, it's take what works, leave what doesn't. I really want to focus on brainwashing myself for success, by which I really mean interrupting the thought patterns that are just habits that don't actually serve me. No, I don't want to think about the things that I want to do the next day when I'm going to bed. It's just going to make me have insomnia. I can't do them right now. There is no need to focus on those things. So one thing that I'm doing is, when I find my brain is going into that thought pattern, I do the blessings of the energy center, or the breathing technique that I read in Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, which is just a form of meditation, honestly. That all it is, it's a focus on your breath and going within. Or I will disrupt those thoughts by having a gratitude list. So say I'm laying down, I'm trying to go to sleep. If the lighting just changed, my computer is like, bitch, you haven't moved the mouse in 10 minutes. You talk. There we go. Instead, if I notice that my brain, as I'm going to bed, is thinking about, okay, well, tomorrow I have to do this and this and this, and I have to make sure I wake up at this time and do this and do X, Y, Z, I will interrupt that thought pattern and I will instead say, okay, well, let me list all of the things that I'm grateful for. And then let me list all of my favorite things that happened that day. And I find that's a healthier mindset for me to go to sleep to than for me to think about everything that I have to do tomorrow and go to bed in like that anxious energy. Part of my glow up is learning to brainwash myself for success, which is really just me saying, learning to interrupt thought patterns that are not beneficial to me. But I have to get back to work now. I'm going to continue doing a little bit of journaling in between tasks, which I just like to do. I'm going to drink my coffee. I got this little cup from Five Below, which I'm so excited about. I actually wanted a cup just like this, and Five Below had it for $5. This is my little coffee that I'm bringing from home. No spend. We love it. We love it. The cup costs money, but no spend starts today. It didn't start last week. So I'm going to continue working, and then I'm going to try to finish How You Get the Girl tonight. So I'll see you with an update later on today with my final thoughts. You can see how chaotically I did my hair. I literally have so many pieces of my hair pulled into the rubber band because I was too lazy to section it off. I know that you can hear the ceiling fan in the background. It's hot as a witch's coochie out there. And air conditioning is expensive, okay? That's what's going on. But I want to give you the update that there was construction at my job. So my boss let me leave early just because it was really loud and obnoxious, which gave me time to do cardio. So I just finished up at the gym, and now I have some time to work on some tasks that I would have put off until tomorrow. I know I said I wouldn't update you until I finish How You Get the Girl, but I'm planning to finish that in the next hour or two. Just wanted to give you the update as to what else was going on today. Finished a little cardio workout because I want to try to incorporate more cardio into my routines, and going to record some videos now. I'm here with the update. Wow. Listen, I'm about to go to bed. That just made it worse. But I have finished How You Get the Girl, and I really enjoyed this. I want to speak about some of the things that I already spoke about. So you already know my feelings about the whole let's practice dating thing. I'm fine with them practicing dating, and I'm fine with how that evolved for them. You know my feelings about the whole sexual dynamics around that. I still liked Elle and Julie together, and I liked the development of their characters and the things that they went through. I do feel like by the end, they did feel fully fleshed out in their stories. This does have a slower pace to it, and I think that some people could find that boring, and to be quite honest, sometimes I did find it boring, but overall, I just found it to be slow and romantic. Now, something about this that happened is, of course, I've mentioned Julie is exploring her romantic and sexual attraction and what that means for her. And something that did happen, of course, because it's a romance, is they fall in love. But to me, reading this, we had this moment where Julie was like, I love Elle, I'm in love with Elle. And this is a conversation that she's having with her best friend, Ben. And to me, this felt a little bit abrupt. And I sat down and I thought about, well, why? Why does this feel a little bit abrupt to me? That's the ice machine, in case you're wondering. And it's because we got so much of Julie's internal dialogue and struggle around understanding how and when she experiences romantic and sexual attraction, that when she suddenly declares that she's in love with Elle, we don't see any of her internal dialogue around that. How does she figure out that she's in love with Elle? What makes her feel that way? How did she know? What are the thoughts that she went through? Like, these are important conversations that I feel like we were cut out of. And I really would have wanted to see if within this story for Julie, because so much of this was about the exploration of her identities, and it feels like a disservice to be cut out of her thought process when she realized that she's in love with Al and what that meant for her. That said, besties, it is the end of the night. I am going to drop the ball. I am not doing closing routine. Closing routine is part of my nighttime routine, but today I'm cutting myself some slack. One, because I had a headache for the majority of the day, but two, because today was a very emotionally heavy day in some ways. Like, my brain just hurts. I was taking in a lot of information and I had to negotiate. And listen, I can negotiate. I just don't like to. Like most people, I don't like negotiating because I don't like having to convince you of my worth. I did it and I did it well, but I still don't like it. So I'm gonna give myself some grace and I'm gonna say, you know what, you can do the parts of your nighttime routine that you love and just lay down in bed and scroll TikTok and then do your little rest of your nighttime routine. So I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Oh wait, you know what though? A productive fucking bitch. A productive bitch, because I filmed enough short form content to last me throughout the entire month of August. Yes, I know, August is over in like a week and a half. I know. I filmed an extra video today that was not originally on my plan, and I'm just feeling like I've gotten a lot of things done. So I'm gonna give myself the grace to drop the ball on this one aspect of my routine, but that does mean tomorrow there is no dropping the ball. Let's not make a habit of this. But good night, my beautiful besties. I will see you tomorrow, where I will be aiming to finish The Fake Mate. But in full transparency, I'll be spending a lot of tomorrow editing and in meetings. Morning. You already know what time is it, but I'm having my breakfast. This morning is sea salt caramel protein oatmeal. Half of this is what I needed, but I was a sleepy gal and I didn't think about that, okay? I just put a little bit too much in the pot and that's fine. But I'm starting my morning today with Balance Black Girl. Today is leg day, so gym time is after that. And it reminds me of what I've been thinking about this whole week. I have been romanticizing elements of my life, and I think I've shown you before the playlist that I like to listen to do that. Just adding a little bit of like R&B music to my daily tasks have made such a difference to like just it feeling like I'm the main character in a cozy little movie. But that has been really helpful. And I also started taking baths, which is why you saw the clip of me breaking my back trying to clean my bathtub, because I was not going to be taking a bath without bleaching my tub first. So I have been doing that. So I actually finished How You Get the Girl in the bathtub, but love you besties, you're not getting in the bathtub with me. We're not that close. One day when I get bubble bath, perhaps we'll do that, but not today. But I want to talk to you about, I've been showing you like little clips of my nighttime routine, and what I've realized is that in a lot of those like productivity videos that I watch, and you've seen that I have a heavy emphasis on productivity and mindset videos for my nighttime routine and my morning routine, because that's when like your brain is the most sleepy, so your subconscious mind is taking in the most information. And for me, I like to see women who look like me being successful. I love seeing Black women win. I love seeing brown women win. So I have been watching those. But what I've noticed is that a lot of those videos in general, across the board, have some kind of conversation about Jesus and God and the Bible, and that's fine for them, but for me, that can be like a triggering subject. We don't have a good relationship. In fact, we don't have to go into it. Just know that I will not be mentioning God or Jesus or the Bible in any of these productivity videos, because that's not important to me. And again, that's not to say that these other people are wrong for including it, because they're not. That's their purpose. And if you don't align with that, then you can just click off the video, as I have been doing. But just wanted to express how I'm feeling about that, and like what my intention is for my videos, where I'm talking to you about like productivity and romanticizing my life, and really just trying to become my dream girl, live the life I know I'm capable of living, as I have established. But as I mentioned, today we're gonna be reading The Fake Mate. FYI, I'ma be yapping. I have no idea what's up, but I'm just like not in the mood to read explicit scenes. I'm like reading parts of it. I'm like, yeah. She takes that dick so well. Blah, blah, blah. Good girl. I'm just not in the mood. And I have been skipping those scenes, to be very honest with you, in some of the romance books that I have been reading. I will be in the mood again to read that, because you all know I love a smutty little book. Just right now, that's not what I want to read. So why I've been struggling with The Fake Mate is that most of that is them having sex, and I can't skip in good conscience like 50 to 60% of the book and then feel like I read it. So we're gonna work our way through that. I'm hoping that I'll have time to go to the pool, but I have so many work meetings, and also I just have generally a lot to do, that I don't think I'll have time for that. So we might delay the pool until tomorrow. The final thing I want to talk to you about this morning, as I'm watching Balanced Black Girl, getting ready to eat my oatmeal, which is too hot to eat right now, is delusion. Because it's human nature to want to know if the things that we're doing are working. And something that's really beneficial to me in this version of like glow up to my 30th birthday is that a lot of this is mental glow up. It's about how I feel. I know that it's working because I feel better. I know that it is something that's beneficial to me because of where my mindset is at and how committed I feel to the things that I'm working on. And what is a beautiful thing for me is that I know that this is long term, and I don't feel any desire to stop. It just feels like part of me now. But also when it comes to like the physical stuff, FYI, bestie, we're gonna talk about like body. If that's triggering for you, please skip ahead to the next section of this video. It will be different lighting, so you will know. I don't weigh myself. I don't track anything, not even my protein. I only set the intention of having most of my meals be protein rich, and I roughly know how much protein I am including. And because I don't weigh myself, I don't track anything, I don't take measurements, that's just not my style. I don't want to have that kind of pressure on my body. When I'm doing like my workouts and stuff, what I've noticed is that what's been really helpful for me is kind of delusion, because as someone who has been on a weight loss journey before, I know that the changes that you see in your body are really gradual, right? Like you're not likely to notice those changes because they happen so slowly. Other people notice them because they don't see you as often as you see yourself, right? In the mirror, around your house, in your clothing and stuff. But what I have noticed is that I feel a lot more toned. Like I will just touch parts of my body, like my legs or my back or like my shoulders, and I feel muscle. Like it just feels like muscle. And like, look at me making those gains. And then with my butt, and this is the delusion. I haven't mentioned this, but my goal is to have a big fat ass. Yeah. I think I have the potential to do it, and I would like to work on that. And that is in fact what I have been working on. And I'm just like delusional. I'm like, look at that. It's bigger. It is bigger. Is it? I have no fucking idea. But delusion will carry you further. Even if you're not sure that you're seeing progress, you convince yourself that you're seeing progress. And that goes for so many areas of your life, not just fitness, many other areas of your life. Even if you do not see the progress, you convince yourself that you do, because that will, for me, has provided so much motivation. Because I'm like, yeah, it's definitely working. Obviously, but I'm gonna eat my breakfast now. We're gonna stop yapping, and I will see you at some point later today. But breakfast, pre-workout, gym, you already know how this goes. leg day is over. I think you can just about see the time behind me. I'm actually ahead of schedule. Normally I'm done with like my hygiene stuff and my skincare by about 8 a.m. I'm ahead of schedule, so I'm gonna do the closing shift that I didn't do last night. AKA, I'm gonna wash the dishes and put away the laundry. Google, Place That in Rain by Ariana Grande.
Cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing. Faces merge and change, but your face remains the same. The swallows will be here by dawn. They'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always
Hey Google, play Thinking About You by Delusion.
just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead. And in the eyes of time, nobody's losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn. When we find it's over, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
I'm about to have a planning session and I am really enjoying aspects of it. I'm not going to give you a full review in this video, but I want to say weight loss is like a very common goal, right? So of course this author is bringing up weight loss in here, but they're like, and if your goal is to lose 10 pounds in 12 weeks, maybe you set the goal to only eat 1,200 calories a day and do this and that. And I'm like, no. 1,200 calories are the caloric needs of a child. You as a grown-ass adult who is also implementing a fitness routine should not be eating 1,200 calories a day. That's not enough. That's not even meeting the amount of calories that your body burns if you were just laying in bed doing abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Because yes, your body is using energy to keep you functioning. Just like a little nitpicky thing, please don't eat 1,200 calories a day. Speaking as someone who used to do that, that is not good for you. That's the caloric needs of a child. You're not even fueling your body enough to do its basic functions if you were laying in bed doing absolutely nothing. Like you don't lay in bed, do nothing, and literally don't even move. Like I'm talking completely still 24 hours a day. Eat more than 1,200 calories. my balcony. I feel like we haven't been out here in a while, but I am just here this beautiful morning, enjoying the bright blue skies and listening to the fountain. Apologies right now because I know that it's loud, but I'm having my little mango and spinach smoothie with vanilla protein. As you know from Topeka, I freaking love Topeka protein. Besties, I have been working on content because this week I have been prioritizing content, and I am happy that I'm ahead of schedule by about 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, about 2 weeks, which is great because it takes some pressure off of my day-to-day schedule. At some point in this vlog, you would have heard like a loud noise when I'm sitting on my couch in my pajamas and I'm like, oh, it's the ice machine. It was in fact UPS misdelivering a package to my door. It was not my package. It was my neighbor's package, who doesn't even live in the same building as me, just happens to live in the same apartment complex, which is rather large. And it was an espresso machine, the really expensive one with all of the coffee pods, like as the second package. And I am but a good person, and I am not a thief. So I did in fact let the building management know, hey, I have this person's package, please tell her to come get it. I would love an espresso machine. And you cannot look at me and tell me that if something that was on your wish list that you could not afford just magically showed up at your door, you wouldn't think about keeping it. Of course I wanted to, but that was never a serious thought in my head. That's just not my personality. So hopefully that person will come and get their Nespresso machine, because it's just like boxes in my house right now. I also want to update you that I started reading Lore of the Wilds yesterday because the audiobook is immediately available on Libby for me, and I'm really enjoying it. It feels like a pretty standard fantasy to me. I don't 100% know the full premise of this. It's about a woman named Lore who lives in this town that's kind of under this horrible leadership from Fae, and one day she gets summoned to like the Fae world because she can read a certain language, and Fae cannot access the library that they're trying to use, so they need someone who's not Fae to do that. So she is going in and she's essentially just like cataloging books and translating things and giving them information about what it is and whether or not that would be helpful to them. And then she's also slowly, I believe, getting a little bit of a crush on her Fae bodyguard type of person. He's not really a bodyguard because he's not there to protect her. He really is just there to make sure she's not up to shit. He is her shadow. And of course, like most fantasies, there's like this secret power and she's gonna get those powers because that's just how it works, right? If we're the chosen one, we've got to have chosen one things happening. I am enjoying it. I think the audiobook is pretty great and it feels like a pretty standard fantasy to me. Yeah, I'm gonna keep reading that, and as you all know, I am struggling through the fake mate. I'm like, have I exited my romance era? I don't think so, but it's just like not what I'm in the mood to read. I don't know. It's not a good sign that it's taken me 3 months to read this book. I have a work meeting in a little bit. I'm going to continue to drink my little green smoothie because I love starting off my day like this. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine from my balcony. Later on, I'll go to the library. I'm going to a Mexican restaurant with a friend tonight, which is going to be really fun. Apparently the enchiladas are delicious, so I'm very excited to try that. So I will see you all later today, where hopefully I've made some kind of progress with the fake mate, but I promise you nothing. Huzzah! I have finished the fake mate. Because you've heard my thoughts so many times, I'm not going to go super into it. I'm giving this 3.5 stars, and I'm going to say I really loved them together by the end, and I want to give this book another try later in the future, because I think if I reread this in a different state of mind, in a different point in my life, I would love this. Right now, it's 3.5 stars, but full disclosure, it's just the reading experience that I had nothing to do with this book that led me to feel this way. And I'm also 64% of the way through Lore of the Wilds. I only have about a little bit under 2 hours left of the audiobook, but it's already 7:30 p.m., which means it is my bedtime, and this vlog is supposed to go up tomorrow. So I might end it here, and if I do, thank you so much for watching, besties. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in my next video on Wednesday. Bye!